Hello again, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a scenario in which Canada makes an empire. Now, technically, I was supposed to do the 100 subs special the other day, but my microphone broke, so if you're wondering why it's happening today, that's why. So I hope you guys enjoy. It's going to be a bit of a quicker one. Let's go ahead and begin with the rules. So here we have Canada colored in red. In this world, no alliances whatsoever. And, well, I'm pretty sure that's the one rule, so let's begin with the Canadian declaration of war on Greenland. They make a landing in southern Greenland. And also, yes, I know Greenland is, I guess you could call it an overseas area of Denmark. But in this case, we're just going to be saying it has independence to help Canada out. And with the fall of all their important lands around the coast, Greenland surrenders to Canada. And the next war is against Iceland, who's going to be a tiny bit more difficult, but Canada sweeps the island. And it isn't very difficult for them to take out these two cold and weak nations. Now, where do they go from there? Their only choice is the US, but they can't beat them. Except there's a little diplomatic event taking place, and this isn't Canada declaring war, if you're wondering. But it's the USA falling into a civil war with a lot of the Republican states rising up as the Democratic president was elected. And yeah, they're just not very happy about that. So a large portion of the USA rebels. And yeah, let's go ahead and see how that goes. First things first, the regular USA begins to push into back the red team. But this is the point where Canada joins in and begins their push into New England and the Great Lakes region, capturing Detroit, all of Michigan, and capturing all of Maine. With that, we see the red team that was supposed to lose this war having a lot of hope, as Canada is not the strongest country, but combine that with the strength that the red team already had, and they have a pretty good chance. Canada pushes into the northern peninsula and takes out all of Minnesota, captures Milwaukee and Wisconsin Falls. The Battle of Chicago leads to more red team victories. Eventually, the only place where the blue team's actually making progress is over here into Texas, with a lot of the areas rebelling against the rural Texas, which makes it a Republican state, whereas a lot of the more populated cities are blue. With that, the blue team is pushing back heavily along the border, along with pushing up and taking the city of Vancouver, which is horrible for Canada. They meet up with Alaska, but Canada does have specially trained divisions to push into the colder region of Alaska, and the blue team doesn't stand much of a chance in this region. Even with a superior military, Canada has more specially trained men for the cold, stuff like that. With that, the red team sends in an all-out invasion into the DC, New York area. This goes successfully, but it does come at a cost, as the blue team begins to spearhead towards the Great Lakes. And Canada makes more progress in Alaska, as they are now starting to reach the more populated regions, but a majority of the state has fallen. The blue team continues to spearhead, trying to take Chicago, but this ends up being a failure as they lose the Battle of Chicago, with red team forces arriving from the Battle of New York. They then begin to push back the blue team significantly. And despite two more blue team counteroffensives being made into multiple regions, the red team is overall winning. This is shown when a lot of southern troops begin to push back into Texas and into the region around here, around Texas, Oklahoma, stuff like that. That means that the blue team spearhead is forced to a retreat as an encirclement is almost made, and it's better to just keep them alive. The red team then begins another spearhead to try and cut off the blue team, from itself. This goes successfully, and all of Texas is recaptured. With that, they begin to push to California. They capture Las Vegas and begin to capture a lot of very populous cities, such as LA. Just all of California falls. I'm not just going to start listing cities. There are too many to say. With this, all of Alaska surrenders, and the blue team loses its foothold in Canada. Canada recaptures Vancouver, takes Seattle, and at this point the blue team has no hope of winning, and they surrender. With that, as I said before, you can see how short of an Empires video this is going to be, with only a few main events. Canada annexes all of Alaska and a ton more land, which they got in compensation for basically being the reason why the red team won that war. They gained a whole lot of northern land and a good portion of New England. With that, they also made an ally of the new United States, as they are the reason that they exist. They are the reason that they're Republican and not Democrat, as that was the rebellion taking place. If you support the Democrats, do the opposite. The Democrats revolted against the Republicans and won. I'm just going to say it was a civil war, not going to say who won because that's too much controversy, but currently it is Democratic, so probably the Republicans. Let's just finish drawing in these borders, and yeah, Canada went from a small power with decent influence to a very powerful country in North America. So yeah, with that, they control the entirety of the Great Lakes. I didn't even color in Alaska, did I? Yeah, I don't know if they would be number 1 largest country in this scenario. They might still be 2, but if they are 2, then they are 2 by far. Like, this is a huge country. Alaska is like 1/5 of the USA already. They probably annexed like half of the US's land area, maybe a tiny bit less than that. But yeah, they took a lot of land that might have made them the largest country, including Greenland and Iceland. It's close, but Canada won't be getting any colonies, as that's just how they are. And that is the end of this video, so I hope you guys enjoy, and there should be some more coming out soon. Bye.